Hey, everybody. It is Men Cry in the Car. Again, we're back. It's Lynn Meyer, the HRT coach, which stands for Healing, Restoration, and Transformation. Episode 5. Can y'all believe it? Episode 5. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing all the comments, all the love, all the support. I really appreciate you guys, but we cannot stop. Every single man that sees me, those men in your life, the women that see this episode or YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're seeing it, share it with the men that you love. Share it with the men that you love. I want to say today we have Mr. You himself. Let me just read some information about him. So his titles, these are just titles. Y'all know, like, these are just titles. This is not really the actual person because we're more than just our titles, right? But he has titles of author, speaker, influencer, foster care advocate, fashion and image consultant. And today we're going to be talking about the sensitive male. We're definitely going to be talking about the sensitive male. As you know, this is the platform for men to be seen, heard, and supported. So just understand that I will be bringing him on momentarily, but I just want you to, again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, if you have not shared this with your loved ones or those that you feel that need it of any age, of any race, share it with the men that you love. And so let's see if we have him ready to come on. Yes, and we do have him ready to come on. So I'm going to bring to you, everyone, again, Mr. You, again, the author, the speaker, the influencer, the fashion consultant, the foster care advocate, all the things we present to you, Mr. You.
Hey, hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Hey, I am great. I am great. I am so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Lan, for inviting me. I'm so enthused and just fueled with fire to share my knowledge and experience with the audience. I'm just excited. It's a great Monday, great opportunity to be on. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. I know you and I had a conversation about, what I was trying to do with this platform. So
Yeah,
thank you so much for like even like taking time out to be here with me. And
absolutely.
just the things that you said on the back end that I know that you may share with other people here on the platform, but people need to understand, like, y'all need to understand Mr. You is like for men empowerment everywhere. So I had to have him
Like
on the
literally,
platform,
literally.
like everywhere. You are known
Yeah.
for being like men empowerment. And so people need to know that and understand that. And before we get into, can you please just know I just read off some titles, but can you please tell the people who you are?
Yes, a little bit about who I am. I am a new published author. I'm so excited about just having the opportunity to now being able to publish my story and just more about some things that I've been through and sharing it with, saying people to inspire them. I'm a public speaker. I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I do a lot of advocacy for foster care. I aged out of foster care. So that compassion element component about me is just naturally there. I do wardrobe styling. I'm an image consultant. I do photography, and I'm just an all around person who just love to see people feeling good and doing good in the community. I'm a person who believes that if people look good, they feel good, and they feel good, they do good out in the community. So that's just a little bit about what I am. I'm very passionate about men empowerment and youth empowerment. I do a lot of different speaking engagements in the community, from alternative schools, colleges, elementary schools, junior high schools, speaking to them about entrepreneurship, mixing it in with my story, how I became a success even amidst of my hardships. That's where I found my purpose, was through the dark moments in my life. And I encourage people to don't shy away from your hardships. Within those hardships, there is a diamond within you. But what a lot of people fail to realize is that we have to go through those hard moments. We have to embrace and endure those hard moments to find out who we really are. So those are just some of the key things that I love to talk about as far as when it comes to empowering people and enriching people's lives. So this topic that we're talking about, as far as like the highly sensitive male, the highly sensitive person, it all ties into just my discovery of who I am. I think on our journey of finding out who we are, it's a never ending thing, right? We're always discovering new things about ourselves on this journey of life. So I my whole thing is I want to tie everything that I embody as far as a fashion icon, an author, a public speaker, a photographer, an influencer in the community. I want to tie all of that into impacting and empowering people to be their true self. Because within being everybody is already somebody, but you being your unique self is what the world needs. So that's who Mr. U is.
And that's not even all you are. So I appreciate
that is not even right. I'm trying to.
That's not even touching the surface. You know, like when people see, you know, the analogy of the iceberg or whatever, it's like you only see the tip of all that underneath. Like that's
Right.
all that underneath. And you said something that made me think about that. You know, it's talking about like the hardships and things like that. That's what people always want to cover up. We always want to present well and this is how I am, and like we're all together, but a lot of times we're not all together. And so I just want to talk about that just for a little bit before we go into the topic of the sensitive male.
Right. Lynn, I need to take 1 second. I need to take 1 second and go to your Facebook page so I can share the live onto my page so my audience can see it. Because I know a lot of people wanted to watch this episode. So if you don't mind, can I go and do that just real quick?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No problem. And I'll continue to talk. Go ahead. So this is what we were talking about. For those that come on, ask your questions. Comment, let us know your thoughts about what we are talking about today. Let us know about your feelings about the topic today. Is called the sensitive male. You can share about your hardships, just whatever questions you have. Nothing can be thrown off the table. Everything, let's put it all on the table so we can grab those questions for you, so you can get you some answers, some direction, maybe some resources. We don't know what you need, but if you don't ask us, if you don't tell us, then we can't be here to help you. And that's what we want to do. So we'll be looking at questions. I'll be looking at questions over here. I'll also be looking at questions on YouTube. So again, for those that haven't followed us, follow us on YouTube. Also follow us on Facebook. This is where we're going to be doing the podcast. So let's see if we can get a question over here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Before I ask this question, I'll go back to what we were talking about. Let me know, Missy. You let me know if you're ready. If I don't know if you shared it yet, but let me know before I bring you back on. We do have a question over here. What is the first thing we need to do? What? Hold on. Let me read, y'all. What is the first thing I can do if I want to share my feelings and I haven't shared it with others before? Okay. So for a therapist point of view, I will answer that, and then I'll let Missy U answer this. It is very hard. It's very difficult to share feelings and thoughts, especially when you think you're going to be judged, when people are going to see you lesser than whatever. And that still goes with judgment. If you don't feel safe in that environment, or if you feel like you cannot trust anybody, it's hard to do that because you haven't found those people where you can feel safe, or you haven't found your support people. And I get that. Do not let that stop you. If you continue to talk to that person that you feel as close as you can with, maybe reach out to that person. If it's a best friend, a pastor, a doctor, a counselor, your yoga instructor, it doesn't matter. It can be your nutritionist. Find that person that's going to listen to you, because that's the first thing you want to do. You want to be heard. So find that person that's going to listen to you and share those feelings. And then that maybe they can direct you to the path of where you need to go. Because I don't want you to keep any of this to yourself. You've been doing that long enough. Just find that person. It could be your brother. It can be your sister. It can be whomever, but do not keep these things to yourself. And so what I'm going to do is bring Mr. U back on. I I don't know if you want to answer that question. Let's see. Where are you? Can you see me? Is he back? I'll try to bring him back here. Okay, Miss Yu, let me know when you can come back on. I don't know if you want to answer that question or if you want to talk about the hardship that we had mentioned before, but we have another question that came through, and I'll just ask this and then maybe you can like go back to the other one. It says, does your family dynamic determine what can help or hinder you from finding a safe space to talk? I love this question from Joshamel Allah. Thank you so much for being on, bro. For me, it definitely impacted who I can trust, who I could talk to, because we grew up in a family of secrets. No one wanted to tell. No one was allowed to tell. It was more of you don't share anything on the outside with anybody. Everything that happens within this household stays in this household. And that's very dysfunctional, especially if there's those type of things going on in the home. And those type of things is anything that's going to be very disruptive, chaotic, any of that. I feel like those things should be shared on the outside simply because the children or maybe another adult in that household doesn't feel safe. And if you're told to keep a secret, you're not able to share that. And so it's very impactful in finding a safe space to talk. For me, I never did have a safe space to talk simply because I didn't trust my household. I didn't trust my environment. So I didn't know what safe was. What I did know was how to be unsafe or how to survive in unsafe surroundings. That's what I did know. I didn't know safety until I met my husband. So I think we have Mr. Yu back. Let's see, we bring him back to stage. Yay, there he is. Okay. I don't know if you were able to hear the first question. Well, what I mentioned before you shared was a hardship that you would like to share. And then it was a question of how do I find a safe space to share if this is my first time. And then there's another question over here. I can say
they got the questions rolling in. I love it.
Yeah, there's another question over here I can say if you want to just talk on those two right now.
Okay, so the first question was, what was a hardship for me?
Yes.
I would have to say a hardship for me, and I actually wrote about this in my book, guys. You guys definitely go and check out my book. You can find it on all platforms that books are sold. It's called Innocence Taken. You can search my name, Rodriguez Underwood, but I wrote about this in the book. A hardship for me was being the oldest son of 5 kids, seeing my parents split up, seeing that whole process, embodying that whole thing of seeing them, the whole process of them, breaking up, the fights, the arguments, the emotional things that I went through as a son, as a child, being away from my father and just not having those answers, just not having those questions answered. That was a really hardship for me. Just transitioning into a young man. And but what really did help me was being able to find mentors and, other men that I was able to look up to and learn certain things about life. So just, witnessing that whole thing for me was really hard. Just not understanding why they was going through that or what caused them to, be so angry with each other and upset. That was really hard for me. And it is crazy because, being able to channel all of that with putting in a book. I mean, you have to be able to like really just go back to those moments to be able to write it down and draw these pictures with words for other people to see. You know what I'm saying? To like almost be there with you to enjoy a great write, right? So, but it was a hard thing for me. Even just reliving it was, almost kind of like a hard thing to do. But what also helped me, make it through, not only at that time, but now understanding that those things wasn't just for me. It was, for me to do what I'm doing now, as far as sharing it, talking about it to help heal, deliver other people who may be going through somewhat the same situation, So But I'm glad. I'm glad that, I was able to make it through that, talk about it, write about it. And it's crazy because even writing about it, what I'm saying, I was able to find so much healing and so much deliverance from
Mhm.
things I didn't even know that pain that I still had inside of me with dealing with that. So, but I was able to talk about it because I know it is other people that's out there that's dealing with situations like that or somewhat harder situations like that. So me being able to open up and talk about those things, man, I hope and I pray that it finds the person to find the people who is meant for, and they're able to find deliverance as well.
Correct. Because
And
again, it's only that one. Like it only if you want to reach the masses. Well, I'll take that back. I don't know if you want to reach the masses. I would like to help people heal from trauma, masses of
absolutely,
people. But if it only is that one, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's exactly what I'm supposed.
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I know I cut you off. What were you getting ready to say?
I was just about to go into the next question, but you're right.
Oh,
Even if it's just one person, like when I do a lot of my speaking engagements, sometimes I go into these rooms or I go into these events not really knowing what to expect. So I don't know how many people are going to be in the room, but my thing is I don't care if it's one person in the room, two people in the room. And just delivering my message. Like a lot of my speaking coaches and mentors, they tell me the same thing. Like, Mr. You, like, just deliver your message, deliver your story, and whoever it is that it's supposed to resonate with, it will, right? So go into those situations or those speaking engagements or those events, just, with knowing God is with me and He's going to speak through me, and whoever the message is meant for is going to resonate with them. So it's just a blessing to be in this position and to have these opportunities to inspire and motivate and just influence people to know, like, look, touch.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I mean, you can too. Is
I want to stop you just for a
just
second.
having people like myself that's able to open up and willing to be vulnerable and share these stories and just my life with the public. I mean, it's not the easiest thing, man, but I find so much healing in it. I find so much deliverance in it. And just to see so many other people delivered and so many other people, the feedback that I get from so many positive people, you know what I'm saying? It's just, that's one of the things that fuels me to keep going, man. Just the people around me that embraces me and just, the feedback and them just, loving on me. Like, what I'm saying? Mr. You, man, I know it takes a lot to do these things, but we just take our hat off to you and we just honor you for doing what you do. So um that's what it
Yeah.
is for me. And I just encourage people, man. I encourage people to, like you said, to find those safe places, those safe spaces that you can open up, you can share your story with, because I find it that it's such a sensitive thing, but we all at some point it's something that we need healing with. It's something that we need healing from. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think that's just where we are right now as a whole. Everybody needs healing in some aspect. So be able to find your safe space and just be able to release those things and be able to find healing is so important right now.
Yeah, it really is. I'm going to save this question because I want you to tell us the reason the sensitive male topic is so important. Like
Yes.
what's
Yes.
the reason for that? Like how like tell us the reason the sensitive man or sensitive male needs to be discussed.
Okay, before I dive over into it, I want to thank so much a friend of mine who is like family, Kathy Barrett. I met her um, a few months ago, and she's the one who I have to give the credit to, who enlightened me on what a highly sensitive person is. And it was something that I knew I had for the longest, but I wasn't able to really put my finger on it or really understand what it was. So I definitely want to just thank her for her ability to see that in me and just encourage me to talk about it and open up about it. So, and if she actually gave me this book, The Highly Sensitive Person. And I've been reading this book, and it's just really just so many confirmations and so many like nuggets within that book that just describes me to the T. Is crazy. So, but the reason I want to talk about this, and I feel like it's so important because it's such a misunderstanding on what a sensitive person is. And especially being a male, coming from my background, coming from the things that I've been through, I just want to just take some time and just enlighten some people on what it is to be a sensitive person.
Mhm. So the floor is yours.
Okay, awesome. So,
Talk to us about that.
what was that?
I said, talk to us about that.
Okay, now most definitely, I'm more than excited to. And I think the reason I'm found is so I'm so impelled to talk about this because, like I said, I feel like it's a thing that's so misunderstood. And being a sensitive person, I just want my friends and and just men to know that it's okay. It's okay to be a sensitive person. And for me, being a sensitive person is somebody who just they're in tune with their emotions. They're in tune with their feelings and not even just their own, other people's feelings too, other people's emotions, and just being able to be conscious of what's going on around them, not just even around them, but within them, and that's what a sensitive person is. And a sensitive person, like it was crazy. I had a friend of mine, and they was like, I was talking about being a sensitive person, and they was like, oh, they're soft. And I was like, first of all, no, it's a difference between being sensitive and being a soft person, because Mr. U is not soft by a long shot. So I do the things the things I've done, the things that I'm about I'm not soft at all, but me being sensitive to other people's emotions, me being sensitive and respectful to how other people feel, and at the same time being respectful to how I feel and the things that I stand for. You know what I'm saying? Being in tune with the elements of life. You know what I'm saying? Like being conscious of the ether and the air and vibrations and the universe. It's like I'm in tune with these things, which makes me sensitive to those things. It doesn't make me less than a man. It doesn't make me any of those things that people may think, you know what I'm saying? But just being highly sensitive, I feel like is a thing that should be respected. And there's a lot of people who may be sensitive to things and they might not even know what it is, like how I was at one point, but being able to discover these things and what it is, it actually, I feel like it made me even more of a stronger individual with knowing who I am, being able to tap in to who I am spiritually and emotionally and mentally. It allows me to even be more of an impact with the things that I've been doing and just adding it to my repertoire of things and my little toolkit of being able to empower people in the community with finding out who they really are, So that's just how I just that's just some of the reasons why I just feel like this is such an important subject, and I want to continue to read books and just learn these things to continue to empower my community, because like I see it on social media all the time. It's like our community, we are so hard on each other. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be somebody trying to build or do something good in the community, but it's like you post it on social media. I mean, people, like I see it all the time. Like people, we attack each other. We make jokes of everything. You know what I'm saying? People don't take stuff serious. You know what I'm saying? So and when it comes to that, when you're dealing with a sensitive person, I mean, it's like all of those things come into play, come into factor. So just knowing who you're dealing with, because everything is not funny. I mean, I don't mind, like, I go to comedy shows and I watch like funny little skits and stuff on social media and TV and stuff like that. But when it comes to certain things that someone may be sensitive about, I don't think those things should be taken lightly or made fun of or things of that nature. Because sometimes when a person is sensitive about something or a particular subject and is, other people may not see it or respect it, so it can cause damage within a person. It can cause a person to go into depression or go into be stressed or anything, you know what I'm saying? So
And that's what we
I
want
don't
to
know.
stop. We already know that. That's what we want to stop. And so when you were talking about the sensitive male, the sensitive person, to me, that's the person that is aware
Yes.
of how they feel, aware how others feel, the things around you. Because when you're sensitive to nature, you're sensitive to the
Yes.
sound, you're sensitive to so. And that person, to me, in my opinion, has great ability of compassion. So
Right.
it doesn't mean that
Exactly.
you are just like you were saying, like with a sensitive male. Most boys in Black and brown cultures, it has been, you better not cry, you better not do this, and that's weak.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
not what that is that
Exactly.
sensitivity doesn't mean you're weak or powerless. It doesn't mean
Right.
that. To me, like I said before, that makes you very aware. Like you
Right.
notice a lot of things, and you understand compassion for yourself and for others. So when I saw the
Absolutely.
topic, that's where I went. I was like, oh, this is
Right.
very important, simply because most men, since we are talking about men, most
Yes, we
men,
are.
we are society has taught them to be hard in every situation.
In every right.
You better
Exactly.
be hard when you go to work. You better be hard. Being a provider, you better be hard. Like on the street, like all the time. Like, where is the
Right.
space for them
Right.
to be sensitive?
Right. Right. Outside of just crying in the car. And I know when we first connected, Lynn, and I really thank God for you and just providing this platform for men, because a lot of times, men do get to themselves, and that's when they release. That's when they cry in their car, or they get by themselves, where they get by themselves because they feel like they can't show that sensitive side to sometimes to even loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so misunderstood. But I'm here to tell you guys, like, I am a manly man. Like I love doing dude stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I know that about myself, and I have to respect that about myself to even just be who I am for my family or for my community or for other people that I love, or these kids that I'm going and speaking that I go and speak to, or these are all of these adult events and stuff that I go to. Just letting guys know, like, look, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to, cry sometimes. It's okay to, what I'm saying, to tap into those emotions and those feelings. It's okay, right? Because the thing is, I found out, if you don't, it is such an unhealthy thing. And a lot of times when we hold these things in and we don't express all these emotions across the board, it become times that we just break down, or we blow up on people, or we do things where we're not operating at our highest level because we're not tuned in or tapped in to being a complete human. We're human. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who even started this whole thing, like men shouldn't cry. It's like, yes, be tough, be that backbone of your family, be that provider, be that whatever, you know what I'm saying, that makes you feel like a man. But at the same time, be whole.
Mm-hmm.
Be whole. And a part of you being whole is, just being in tune with those emotions and those feelings, Doc.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I do want to go back to the question that I answered, but I want you to have your perspective. It says, does your family dynamic determine what can help or hinder you from finding a safe space to talk?
Nah, I don't think so. Like I said, I grew up in foster care, man. Like where I come from is like my whole family background isn't the strong places and safe spaces to be vulnerable and ask questions and, form relationships and friendships with people who didn't mind like helping me tap into those things. Like I said, like it was a friend of mine who I call family now. It's like sometimes like, we grow up and we develop our own family and friends that, friends that become family or whatnot. And these people has been an amazing attribute to my life and just all of the things that I've done. And, and I have this thing where I tell people, like, I hate introducing myself anytime I'm at an event because I've done so many things and I wear so many hats with so many titles. And I don't do it. I don't do what I do to walk around and slang titles and achievements. I do it because it's in my heart. But I just, I tell people all the time, it's not just me that's doing these things. It's by the grace of God. And it's also the people around me that uplift me and empower me to do what I do. And that is so important. And I definitely want you guys, if you guys don't remember or take in nothing that I said, I definitely want you guys to understand how important it is to get yourself around the people that empower you. That is imperative. I wouldn't be able to do anything, none of the things that I do, if it wasn't for the people around me. Yes, I've had people in my life, even some of my foster parents growing up, that spoke down to me. It was crazy. Like, you see stuff like that on TV, but let me tell y'all stuff. That stuff is real. Like, I've had foster parents that used to down me, telling me my parents ain't want me, I wasn't gonna be nothing in life. All of that stuff. Like, it was real, right? But I had to get rid. I used to run away and everything because I hated that energy. I hated the way they made me feel, right? So I hated it. They didn't understand me. They didn't know who I was or who I was destined to be. They didn't fuel that fire, right? So I had to get away from it. I always longed to be around people that empower me, that lift me up, that made me feel like I can do anything that I set my mind to. And the thing is, as an adult, once I was able to find that, so once I was able to find my tribe, once I was able to find those relationships and those people that believed in me, man, that's when I think I really started just doing miraculous things. That energy and that chemistry is a real thing. That element, that mastermind, or whatever you want to call it, that energy, that chemistry, that whatever you want to call it, that thing is real. And I just thank God for just giving me that ability and that mindset to, know what it is that I wanted to do and be able to, and for him putting those people in my life that, allowed me and, gave me the ability to do those things. So I don't let my background or my history hinder me. So I was able to, and that's one thing I love about being an author and being an influencer and being an empowering person in the community, because I was able to take my negatives and turn those into power. I was able to take those negatives and those things that people, talked about and joned on me about, and I was able to overturn those negatives and, use them for purpose. So here I am today, what I'm saying? Still standing, still going strong, still with a smile on my face, still ready and eager to continue to do what I do. I woke up this morning to an amazing opportunity to, be on a panel for another men's empowerment event. You know what I'm saying? And it's just what I love. It's what I love to do, and it's what I pour out. So I don't let anything stop me. This is my purpose. This is my destiny. And I feel like as long as I got God on my side, walking with me every step of the way, it's like, this is only the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wake up every day like, God, what's next? Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know it's him that holds the power. It's him. So it's like, even myself, a lot of times, Lynn, I want to remove myself out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And as hard as that may sound, it's like that's my whole thing, because I know sometimes, like, even my flesh, I can be weak. I'm human. I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? But I know someone who is, right? And even amidst my transgressions, or even amidst my shortcomings, God, for some reason, still chose me to do all of these things that I'm doing. And I'm just so grateful. And I really truly give my life to him. And I just pray that he continues to use me to do his will. So I'm excited.
And he will. I want to ask you, because I know some people that come on that leave questions or may watch the replay, you may come off to them as like being so positive and so optimistic and all those things. Yeah. So this may be a twofold question, but what's coming to my mind right now is, have you always or most of your life been this person that we see right now?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So when
no,
you were
ma'am.
not, the second part to that question is, what got you to where you are now? Like being.
Oh, yes, man. Lynn, I love that question. It's like, I'm so glad you asked that because, and it was crazy because I talked about this at at an event called Embrace. And Embrace is a platform that provides families. It connects foster kids to families for adoption. So I was a guest at this event on the panel. So, and I shared this, a part of my testimony on that panel is that, no, I have not always been this positive person, because going through my dark moments, and I feel like everybody has them, whether you are opening up about them or not, but I encourage you to. But when I was going through my dark times, I thought God was punishing me. I thought I did something extremely wrong, that God was just out to just, you know what I'm saying, like punish me or something, like, and I was just like, even in school, man, it's like my peers and my schoolmates, they joked on me a lot, you know what I'm saying, because I was, in foster care, you know what I'm saying, like your parents don't want you and you just a problem in society and all of this stuff. So it was hard, man. So it's like, just imagine trying to come back from all of that. So I wasn't always the stylish guy, like my foster parents, and the little times that I was with my mom, she wasn't able to afford us the name brand, the most hip and stylish clothes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here rotating the little clothes that I had, trying to iron them out and mix and mingle them to wear to school, to just try to just feel good about myself. But that took a long time to develop, man. Like, my self-esteem was crappy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had acne real bad, and I was this little skinny dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? So to just make it through life and to be who I am today, man, it's just a testimony to how good God is. And you asked the question, when did I become this? It's like, it really not too long ago, a couple of years ago. And that's when I, realized that, hey, man, like, God sat me down. He quieted all of that noise around me, right? And it was funny that you titled this podcast, Men Cry in the Car. There has been times, nobody knows to this day, that there has been many times, Miss Lynn, that I've cried in my car. And it was just one time, like 2 years ago, I went to my car to cry. And guess who met me at my car? God met me at my car. I sat my phone down. I turned the radio off. So all I was able to hear is nature and hear whispers from God, from the higher power, from the Father himself, telling me who I am in him. And not only did he tell me who I am in him, he also followed up with that by saying, no one can tell you otherwise. And it was amazing, because after that, so many stages, so many doors, so many opportunities start opening up. And I'm like, man, these are just confirmations. These are confirmations of what God told me, right? It's amazing. So now when I hear people tell me, oh, Mr. Yu, man, I'm just so excited to see how God has been using you. And I'm telling them, like, look, me being on the inside of here, I'm just as excited as you guys are to be watching God move in my life. For God to still choose to use me out of all that I've been through, for God to have kept me out of all I've been through, man, it's a testimony. It's like it makes me want to dedicate my life to God. It makes me realize he's been real. He's been there all along building my story. He wasn't punishing me. He was building me. He was empowering me. He was giving me a testimony to do just what I'm doing today. And that right there alone gives me joy every time I just think about everything that he's brought me through. Right? It makes me happy. It makes me joyful. It makes, like, I go onto stages. I don't write. I don't script. I don't rehearse none of this stuff that I get on these stages and talk about, because, Lynn, I've lived it. It's in my heart. It's in my purpose. You know what I'm saying? So getting in front of these audience and these people and being able to speak the joy of the Lord, it comes natural because of what I've been through. For him to keep me in my sound mind, to be able to remember these things and being able to channel back and remember these things as if they happened yesterday. That is God, y'all. That is not us being able to do that on our own. It's when I just realize those things, Lynn, it makes me happy to know that God has been with me all of this time, being away from my parents, being in all these different foster homes, being in these children homes, being homeless before as an adult. God has been with me all along, and he's with you too. So it's just reason for me to be happy. And I think it should be reason for you to be happy as well.
Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to your testimony, because that's what it is. It's a testimony of where you've been and where you are now, and how you came over. You know what's the song? How I Got Over.
How I Made It Over. How I Made It Over.
I love when Mahalia Jackson and Aretha Franklin do it. But it reminds me of that, because this is something that a story of your experience could have been very shameful. You know, you could be like, oh my God.
I was for the longest. I was for the longest, man. Yeah.
Now, though, but you're sharing it now, and men need to hear this. Men need to hear how, I was down, I was this, I was shamed, I look like this. Like, you gave everything. You talked about how you look, on how you felt, the things you went through. Like, there's so many men that have gone through this, that felt that way, and still won't share their feelings. They still won't share emotions. Right. And I know you found God. Some of them may not ever believe in God. You know,
the thing is, I think they will, Lynn. I think they will. It's just everybody's revelation is different. Everybody's revelation timing is different. Mine, God knows us. He knows us better than we knows ourselves. He knows where to meet us, when to meet us, how to communicate with us, how to love on us. And it's crazy, because the thing is, when you realize that even when God does chastise us, he does it with so much love and compassion. It's like, I love knowing the fact that God has me in his arms. It's like, I don't want to be nowhere else. I've had so many intimate conversations with God. Like, look, God, if you can provide me a lifestyle where I can just do this all the time, God, I go. I do it. If I can just do this, if I can just praise your name all day, every day, and you just take care of me, I do it. Because like, anytime I'm reading my Bible, it's like I get so engulfed and lost into just being in love with God, because it's the greatest feeling, man. And just like when I had my revelation, Lynn, it felt so amazing. It made me want to run and tell people what had happened. You know what I'm saying? Because it felt so amazing, dog. It was like a great awakening, right? Like finding your purpose. It's like, what's better than that? Like realizing you was born, but realizing and finding out why you was born, bro. That's like, when you find that, it's like you want to run and tell people. It's like, I don't care what nobody says. It's the greatest feeling ever.
It truly is, and I'm so glad that you and the other men that have come on want the conversation to be organic. And this is the reason why we do this. I think about like everything you just said, and then I know it's men cry in the car, but I also understand the assignment that was placed on my life. And I saw the excitement. I feel it. I understand it, because that's the way I feel too. When God gave me this.
Yeah. To start we talked about it. You was definitely excited. You was definitely excited.
I was like, how else she you ready to use me. Let's go.
Let's
Because
go. That's what I mean. Like, let's get it.
being obedient, because I know disobedience.
Right.
I
Because
know
the thing is, the thing is, like, when you're obedient, Lynn, and the thing is, when God brings you through something, when he brings you to something, like when he gives you this idea and you're obedient, the type of God that I serve, he's going to see you through it too. He's not just going to put you out there and like, there you go figure it out. God does not. The God that I serve, I don't know who some folks serving, but the God that I serve, God is going to see you through it too. He's going to provide every step of the way. And long as you operate in that faith in him and knowing that he is there, man, God, I think the problem is a lot of people, they put God in this box, or they only call upon God for certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's like God is all things, man. God is the air you're breathing. God is the car you're driving. God is the house you're living in. God is the friendships that you have. God is the parents that you don't have. God is all of those things that you guys are not realizing. He is there, man. So I don't know. That's just my testimony. I know what he's brought me through. So I just choose to be on that side. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the side you choose, because that's the side that you understand. Absolutely. And I also know that's another reason why you were able to accept when your mentor, I'm going to call her your mentor, presented you with that book of being a sensitive person, because
Yes.
now you understand all of that. You understand what it means because of your experiences. You understand that I don't have to walk around being mean and angry and upset and aggressive because of my circumstances, because I was in foster care, because my parents weren't around, bio parents weren't around. And then I had all these experiences that really could have turned you into a person that ended up in
Was
prison.
just mad at the world. I could have just been mad at the world. I could have been in gangs. I could have been doing violent things. I could have been this total opposite, because that's what statistics say. Right. And that's why so many people ask me to come and speak. They like, Mr. You defy the odds. You are a rare gem. And it's like, bro, I wasn't even, a lot of people have said so much stuff to me that I wasn't even calculating. Right. I'm just like probably most people. I'm just trying to find my purpose. And with finding my purpose, Lynn, I made a choice. I made a choice that I'm going to take my problems. I'm going to take my situations that could have ended me, that could have killed me, that could have took me away from here. I said, you know what?
I'm going to talk about it.
You devil, I see you. Right? You demon, I know what you're trying to do, but you done mess with the wrong one. Right? So I decided to dedicate my life to purpose. I want to empower in whatever it is, even my services in my business is to get people to a point where they can feel good about themselves.
Correct.
Just see it, like doing photo shoots, styling people, producing shows. Keisha Sanchez, man, shout out to her. That girl, she is amazing. But her and I produces this Arlington Merchant Mix, where we're bringing all of these entrepreneurs together into one room to empower them, to allow them to network and meet each other and talk about the hardships, even being an entrepreneur.
But let me say this, all of that you're saying still goes back to what we're talking about. It goes back to if you had never opened your mouth, if you had never understood or allowed God to use you, if you had never said, you know what, I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm going to open my mouth. I'm going to speak. I'm going to share my testimony. I'm going to do all these things. You would not be able to be
oh my God.
It's empowerment. Like you would not be like seen as the person up for men empowerment. So like when people see me, everybody knows, what do I do? Oh, I work with men and women that have dealt with sexual abuse. Like they understand me with trauma and healing. They understand that because I've opened my mouth, and that's all I speak. So now when you have opened your mouth and no longer crying in the car, you said, no, I got to take this out of the car. Right. And take it to the stage or take
because
it to
I realized
whatever.
because I realized it wasn't just me, the only one that was crying in my car. I realized it was other men that was also crying too. There's a lot of men who are crying, probably watching this episode right now. They're probably crying to themselves, looking for an escape, looking for a route, looking for healing, looking for somebody that can relate enough for them to be like, you know what? Oh man, I watched that episode. This young man, bro, he doing it. I can do it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I do what I do. I'm no special than the next man. I'm no different than the next guy. You know what I'm saying? All the thing is, I just chose to speak out. That's the only difference. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you guys, man, to, get up and just, do it.
Yeah, that's the important thing. And that's what I wanted to say. It starts when you open your mouth. To me, that was the scariest thing I decided to do was to open my mouth and do it. That was the scariest thing. I said, okay, I know I got all this on the inside. If I open my mouth, I don't know if I'm gonna stop.
Right.
And that was the thing. That was the thing. God was like, and you're not gonna stop because you, like, I know you. You are gonna do some things. I'm like, oh, but they don't want to hear from me. Oh, but yes, they do because you're relatable.
Right. Oh, I couldn't even imagine though. I couldn't even imagine, like, when I did start to open my mouth. It was crazy because, Lynn, I shared my story. Like, I was quiet for so long, man. I was mute. Like, stuff used to happen to me, and people used to say stuff to me, and I ain't even say nothing back. Not even realize at that point that I was sensitive. You know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of times people saying stuff to me that would crush me. Literally crush me. And then it's like, probably like later down, I would have these voices in my mind like, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that. But I would be so hurt from being sensitive that I wouldn't respond to them right then. You know what I'm saying? And I would be so upset with myself sometimes. And I'd be like, man, why couldn't I say something? Why couldn't I just express how I feel? Why couldn't I just release that anger on them that was built up? You know what I'm saying? But you asked that question, like all of these things, like when did I start? It's like, God told me it wasn't my time to speak yet. So now that he's given me a story, now that he's given me a voice, now that he has these people that I don't even know, like, Mr. You are the face of men empowerment here in the DFW, bro. And I'm like, wow, like, like that's huge, right?
Stop. Remember when you came on and you said on Facebook, you was like, hey, I'm the face of men in power. I forget, it's not verbatim. And then you said, I don't know how to receive that. And what did I do?
Did you told me? She said, brother, she said, you better walk in it. She said, Lynn came to my inbox. She said, you need to walk in it. She said, accept it, who you are. She said, walk in it. And ever since then, I just, hey, I'm here today saying that, I've done a lot of things even before people even start calling me that. Like, I'm producing men empowerment photo shoots, men empowerment summits and events and all types of stuff. I've been doing it. But like I said in the beginning, Lynn, like I wasn't doing any of that for some title or for some type of recognition. I was doing it because it was in my heart and I saw that it was a need. And anytime that I had an opportunity to lift my brother up, I'm going to do it. I have guys right now that call me, telling me and pouring out their life story to me or situations that they're going through right now. And it's like, I try to remove myself from the response and just let God just speak through me and pour into them or whatever their situation is. So I don't know, man. I just thank God just to be in this position, man. And people don't even know I'm really a humble person. Like I'm a fashion guy. So I have that thing about me where I can, dress myself up, put on a pair of sunglasses, brush my hair and all of this self-grooming stuff. And it was crazy because a lot of times guys, when they have that it about themselves, people think they gay or people think they all this type of stuff. Bro, I'm so far from that I just have that fashion bug. I love my appearance. I love just feeling good about myself when I go out in public or whatever. So I just love it. And I encourage other people to do it too. I'm a stylist. So it's like I want to look the part, right? And I just encourage other people too. I mean, those things are some of the things that has helped me just make it through my hardships. When I can get up in the morning, or I know I have a meeting, and I can get myself dressed up and just feel good about myself, man. It's just, I mean, that's one of the things that do it for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
That. So I want, before I have two things I want to say to you. Before I ask you my last question, please tell the people where they can find you, where they can reach out to you on social media and all those things. Give them, talk about your book, like tell it all right now.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I do want to promote my book, guys. I'm so excited about being an author. This whole thing is new. I'm embracing it though. I'm excited about it. Big shout out to my co-author on this first project, Stephanie. She's an author. You guys can find her on Facebook. She's on my page. We've been doing a lot of promotions, and Stephanie just really just her tutelage and her patience and her guidance with me, and just opening up the invitation with hearing my story and just thinking that I would be a good fit for this project. I really just thank her, and I appreciate her for the opportunity. So you guys can definitely go on all platforms that books are sold and type in my name, Rodriguez Underwood. The name of the book is Innocence Taken. You guys can definitely find that on all platforms. I definitely encourage you guys to go and get that book. And I feel like it's something in there that will change your life. I mean, if not you, it'll make a great gift for somebody else to, add to their collection, or a first time reader. It's a great opportunity, and I'm excited about it. But you guys can definitely find me on Facebook. That's probably where my biggest audience is. That's probably where I be most of the time, on Facebook at Rodriguez Underwood, Mr. U. You guys can Google me. You'll find a lot of my different social media platforms. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn a lot more now than I used to be, because I have a network now. I have a circle that's on there, and they always tagging me in a lot of the events and stuff that we're doing. And I also want to shout out Heart Prophet, Stacey Renee Wright. I had an opportunity to meet her a few months ago, and her whole mission with her business platform, man, that has opened up so many opportunities, not just for myself, but just the entire community, things that she's doing and operating with compassion. That touched my heart. When I first met her and heard that whole presentation, man, I was like, man, this is what I've been looking for. And to being a part of that platform, man, and just operating and just meeting that whole network of people has been amazing, Lynn. I encourage you to even check her out and see some of the events that we've done, some of the events that we got coming up. I'm actually the keynote speaker at the event in August. So you guys definitely check that out. My book launch event is also August the 3rd over here at the Doc Bookstore. You guys know Deion Sanders had his book launch there. Mr. U is going to be there launching his book. So yes. But you guys definitely come out and support. You guys, like I said, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. I just got on Snapchat. I really don't be on there that much, but I'm trying to learn it. Just, getting the word out. All of these social media platforms, I encourage you guys to get on them. I meet a lot of people who I do their content, and I do their professional photos, and I develop their social media content, because a lot of people don't understand how powerful those platforms is when it comes to getting the word out and promoting yourself and what you're doing. Because you can be the dopest person in the world, but if you're not marketing yourself, nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage people to use those platforms. So I'm still using them. I'm still learning them myself, because they are always evolving, and all of this, internet world and stuff like that. It's a great opportunity for people to just, promote and brand themselves. So you guys definitely connect with me. I would love to come out and speak, do workshops, do empowerment events. Like I said, I'm very passionate about men empowerment and youth empowerment. I had a great opportunity to speak at a youth leadership program a few weeks ago, Star Leadership Academy over in Fort Worth. And man, I had an opportunity to go there last year, and they asked me to come back this year to speak at the opening and the graduation of that program. So the graduation is in August. So I'm excited to go back and speak to those young kids. And I gave them some homework when I went and spoke at the opening of the program. So I gave them some homework. So I'm excited about going back for the graduation and just getting their feedback and see some of the things that they've learned. Guys, I love this stuff. I do this stuff from my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a lot of times I did stuff out of my own pocket to, pour into the community. So I pray that the community continue to pour back into me because, I have responsibilities and bills and stuff too that I'm still trying to take care of. I have a family and stuff that I'm trying to grow and get closer with as well. So you guys continue to pray for me and just continue to lift me up because doing what I do in the community and doing what God is using me to do is not always easy. But I know He's a provider. I know He's going to continue to send people like Lynn into my life to provide platforms for me to just, do His will. So I'm humble, I'm excited, and I'm encouraged and I'm empowered to continue to this, be a vessel for you guys. So thank you so much, Lynn, for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. And I know you spoke and shared a lot of things, but the very last thing I want you to say for the men and the women that are watching that are going to share with their loved ones.
Yes.
For those that are watching, what would you tell them right now for the title of Men Cry in the Car? But what would you say to that man that's going to be watching now and watching the replay? What does he need to hear right now?
Man, the most powerful thing that I can think of right now is leaving you guys with is embrace those hardships. Don't be afraid to go through those hard times. Embrace those tears. Let them tears fall, man. It's healing within those tears. It's healing within telling your story. It's healing within writing that book. It's healing within getting on that podcast platform and just being vulnerable. It's healing. And just, don't hold back. Don't be afraid to be human. And what I mean by that is being emotionally intelligent. Don't be afraid to do that research. Find out who you are, your real purpose. Like and get that workout plan going, man. Get that workout going because it's crazy just working out, going for that walk. You know what I'm saying? Or getting that gym membership. Man, is imperative. We need to start to eat healthier. It's so much healing. It's so many things that we need to overturn that has been, what's the word I'm trying to find? It's so many things that has been put into us that are false, right? There's a lot of things that were embedded in us that are not for us, right? So becoming an adult from a child, we have to learn how to do that research and find out the truth. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to do that research and find out what it takes for you to be whole, man. And with becoming whole, you're going to find that you have an amazing power that's been in you. But sometimes that power, it gets condensed because the bad foods, not working out healthy, not having those important conversations, not surrounding yourself around healthy relationships. All of that stuff, it kind of like defies our power a little bit, right? So don't be afraid to tap in to and wanting to learn who you really are. You're a powerful being. God made you. Right? And He put something inside of you that no one else has. But in order to tap into that power, it's some things that you might have to sacrifice, right? There's some things that you might have to turn away from, right? There's some things that you might have to unlearn, right? So I encourage you guys to continue to, be your amazing, authentic selves. Because on the other side of that hardship that you're probably afraid to go through, there's the deliverance. There's an anointing. There's a healing. There's a purpose for your life on the other side of that fear that you're afraid to approach, right? Mm-hmm. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. I knew this was going to be good. I knew it was. I thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being who you are. Just thank you. I really appreciate that. I shared it on
Absolutely.
YouTube. I shared it on Facebook. So make sure all your people get it. Make sure they see this. And for those that had questions, come back and comment on the live for your on the replay. Follow Mr. Yu. He gave some of his platforms. Just make sure you get the book, Innocence Taken. We want to
Innocence
support
taken.
you any
Let's
way we
go.
can. And
I'm
so
actually
yeah,
working. I'm also working on my memoir too. I'm working on my memoir. It's called
good.
Dress to Improve. It's actually called Dress to Impress, but the word impress is marked through. Then you got the word improve. So it's Dress to Improve. That's gonna be my first memoir that I'm actually working on right now. So shout out to Stephanie. She actually helped me. She helped give me a soft introduction into the author world with that co-authored book, Innocence Taken. You guys definitely go and get that to support that. But you guys definitely be looking out for Dress to Improve. That's going to be my first memoir. It's going to tell more about my whole journey through foster care and a lot of my emotional awareness and a lot of the things that Lynn and I talked about today, man. God is moving. God is doing his thing. So you guys definitely tap in with your boy.
Yes, for sure. And thank you again for being here. I really enjoyed my time with you. And I actually will be at the book signing August 3rd.
Okay, that's what's up.
So
Yes.
I had
Yes. Where have we
already
met? I don't think we've met in person yet. We haven't met in person
we
yet. We've
haven't.
always
So yeah,
been,
so
yes,
it was our
yes,
first time seeing each other, but then we'll definitely meet in person then. But
yes. I
thank
can't
you
wait to
so
give you a
much
big hug.
for
Yes.
yes, thank you for those that came on live. Thank you for those that can watch the replay.
Also, one more thing. I tried to share it on my page. I think you're gonna have to make it public. I think you got it. You got it on your page, but I think you have to make it public for when I share it so other people can see. I should have said something at the beginning, but I know we
Okay.
were trying to get right into it. We was already kind of running behind, but I think it's still going to reach who it's supposed to reach.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those that did tune in, Lynn, thank you so much. I know God is going to bless you and going to bless your platform, bless your family, bless everybody that you touched this year. And you guys know how to reach me, man. If you guys need a word of encouragement, a word of empowerment, I'm always around. I'm always on social media. And again, Lynn, I can't thank you enough for this platform and just being able to talk about the sensitivity of being a human and men not being afraid to tap into your true selves and showing those emotions. Lynn, I thank you so much. God bless this platform, and I look forward to connecting with you again. Thank you.
Absolutely. I received that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right,
Absolutely.
everyone. Men Cry in the Car podcast, episode 5 with Mr. Yu. Please share it out. And we are out for the day.
Thank you.